Check, 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 check.
Again.
Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing.
There we go.
Okay.
See how this works out. All right. Here we go again.
Morning, everybody. John Paddock with the Mojave Valley Daily News, and this is your daily dose for Wednesday, February 17th. And we're flying along. The daily dose is brought to you by the TriState Radiology Center in Fort Mojave, Arizona. TriState Radiology Center is an American College of Radiology accredited facility. TriState Radiology serves the tri-state area and now accepts Medi-Cal. Their professional staff is here for you and will work with the healthcare providers in the community to help take care of your health. Remember, at TriState Radiology Center, your image means the world to us. All right, a couple things. First of all, we're in our new studio. We got like lights everywhere here. Jeff has moved from over there to over here. So if you see me looking over here, then you know what I'm looking at. He's got all these lights in here trying to make me look better, but I keep trying to tell him you can put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. So we'll see how things go today. Also, don't forget, at 4 o'clock today, we're going to do a live Q&A, and we'll see how that goes. If we get plenty of questions and it's worthwhile, we'll keep doing it. If not, we'll dump it. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and we'll address them today at 4 o'clock. We'll also take questions live at 4 o'clock as well. All right, so let's dig in. We got a lot of stuff. Remember, Wednesday is our big day, paper day. So dramatic decline in new COVID-19 cases. They got an update from our county health director, Denise Burley, yesterday on how things are going. She said for the 4th week in a row, cases are declining. They only had 19 cases reported yesterday. When you go by percentages, it's now 9% is what the cases per thousand population is. A week ago it was 26.8%, and the previous week 60%, 59.7%. So it's dropping. She accredited a few different things to that. One is people doing the social distancing and wearing masks and that were available, staying away from large gatherings, those kinds of things. She also suggested that the nationwide death rate is somewhere around 1.5% or so, 1.7%. For Mojave County, it is 2.8%. So it's a little bit higher than the national average. She thinks that might be playing into it. Some people are worried about that. And then also, of course, the vaccines. Speaking of vaccines, supervisors get update on vaccine effort. The county manager, Sam Elters, said that the state of Arizona is getting about 300,000 doses a week. That's our allocation. 20% immediately are taken off the top, so about 60,000 doses for the mass vaccination sites in Phoenix and Tucson. So that leaves the other 240,000 to be spread among all the other counties based on population. Obviously, Maricopa gets the most. So we end up getting about 3,000 vaccines a week. And at that rate, we should be closing in on 28,700 here in the next few days. But at 3,000 a week, Supervisor Buster Johnson stated that's going to take forever to get to that point. So we're getting there. They're hoping to get. I know President Biden yesterday said that he was going to be working on increasing those. His original goal was 1 million vaccines a day. Then it went up to 1.5 million. Now they're talking a little bit over 2 million vaccines a day. So it's getting there. I know Dr. Fauci yesterday said that he thinks that we should be able to get everybody who wants the vaccine by the end of June and into July. So, all right, in our breaking news, we have a wreck near the airport. You see there is Jeff's picture that he took along with the QR code, which is down here. You can scan that QR code and go to the video, but I think Jeff has some video for us from the scene yesterday. You see the,
Which I'll come back
red
to in a
car
minute.
here had a very sudden stop there at that rock. That was out at the Parkway right near the airport entrance. So one person was taken to Warm Sea for treatment of unspecified injuries after a two-vehicle collision at the intersection of Locust Boulevard and the Parkway. I don't know, did you show the truck on there, Jeff? Yeah, there's the truck. You can see the truck that was involved in it. We don't have any other specifics on it or the condition of the person that had that sudden stop. Oh, there's UPS, probably bringing some Amazon to my house, I'm guessing, based on experience. All right, and then there was a city council meeting last night. All right, city council halts feeding homeless in parks and public land. So this is something that we've been dealing with for a while. We have one segment of the population that's upset about them being out, the homeless being fed and helped out in the parks. Not that they're against them being helped, just not in the parks. I know the city manager and city council and the mayor have all been working on ways to help with that. They had some things yesterday that they came up with. Some of them are going to be implemented, or they voted on them and everything passed that they wanted. So that includes code changes that will prevent the routine feeding of homeless people in the park. In order to do that, you'll only be able to do it once a month. You'll have to get a permit. You'll have to prove $1 million in liability insurance. You'll have to put a $250 deposit down to take care of cleaning up after this event. And it's once a month, and it can be no more than 2 hours. So with all the conversation, they also decided to push that date back. They were hoping to get it started in March, but they've pushed that date back to May 1st to kind of allow for some of the COVID thing to continue to drop down. And the reasoning behind that is then they believe that the Christine Stamper, I got to find the exact name of it, the Christine Stamper Center for Help and Hope, will be able to provide more services then because they'll be open. And a lot of the stuff can be done over there. The director over there, Kathy Peterson, Catholic Charities Community Services Executive Director for the Northern Arizona region, she said, well, we can still do this. We'll just do it over at the Christine Stamper home where they have the facilities to do a lot of that stuff. And then they'll also, she also put in a request for all these people that want to help to come over and help them serve them. There is some question about transportation from Community Park or Rotary Park or any of the other places where the homeless are gathering over to the center. So that's something that's going to have to be addressed as well. There were a couple other things that they worked on. Another part of the homeless thing that they talked about was the shopping carts. We see them all over town and in washes and everything else. They are going to they passed a measure unanimously to work on getting all of those shopping carts returned back to where they belong, and the ones that are just trashed to get rid of those. He said no fine, fee, penalty, or criminal prosecution will occur, but they just want to pass the code saying that they can get them, that they can go and pick them up and get them out of there. They also approved a $50,000 donation to the River Fund to assist the homeless in Bullhead City. Mike Connor was there, the executive director of River Fund, talking about how the organization has found a variety of solutions to help people with nowhere to stay, those that are looking to improve their life and get some help and all that. We all know that some of them are not interested in that, so maybe some of these other things will work towards that as well to help them. Remains of missing person ID'd, suspect died in prison. So some remains that were found out in Topak were positively identified. They were found in May of 2019. They were positively identified as the remains of Nancy Hartz. Nancy is the Kingman woman. She was 71 years old when she disappeared. They were sure of a person that they had a suspect. He was jailed for some other things. That was Robert Lawson Carnochan, something like that. He was jailed for some other things, including using identities of several different people. One of them was Nancy Hartz, and there was a big search trying to find her. They found these bones, these remains, in May of 2019. They sent them off, and they were positively identified a couple of weeks ago. But Mr. Carnochan died in prison, so no arrest can be made. The guy won't be made to pay for it, but they're pretty sure that he was the guy anyway. So, all right. In sports, we had a pretty nice day in sports yesterday. I want to start with the Malk Patriots. The Malk Patriots boys basketball team, they've been cruising through the year. They were 11-0 heading into their game last night against Basis High. Basis High is in their division and had been playing really well as well. They only had one loss, and Malk was undefeated. And Basis had just demolished somebody. I don't remember who it was, but a couple days ago they beat a team by 70 points that Malk had only beat by like 30. So we weren't sure how that was going to go. Here's a nice picture. If you can see that, that was taken by Kane last night out at the field, I don't know, what do they call it? They got so many names in this. The Battleground Gymnasium over at Malk. That was Josh Neal going up against 4 different defenders, along with Ramon Lopez and Lucas Leslie, and they beat the brakes off them, beat the pants off them. They beat them 78-26. I heard that they were up by 25 at halftime and just rolling, so they moved to 12-0. Aiden Honiger, who I think every day I mention Aiden's name in this daily dose. He led the team at 29 points, only played 3 quarters and got out of there. So I'd be willing to bet that Aiden in all divisions, I think Aiden right now is 12th in the state in scoring, but Aiden's playing half of a game. You know, if he were playing the whole game, I think that he would probably be leading the state in scoring. So good for him. And Josh Neal, for the division, Josh Neal is leading the state in rebounds for their division. So they moved to 12-0. They host Williams on Thursday night. I know that not a lot of people are allowed into the gym, but if you could go see that, I think that's going to be a good one too. Williams is a good team as well. But and then the boys soccer team, the Thunderbirds, beat Yonker High. Yonkers out of Buckeye, Arizona. They beat them 4-0 yesterday. You got 2 goals from Philip Camacho, but the game started with 13 minutes into the game. Logan Burgess scored a goal. Really, that was all they would need. They won 4-0. Nice shutout by Mojave's keeper, Aiden Ortiz. Aiden Soto Ortiz. So they moved to 3-3. So good job, guys. All right. There was one more thing I wanted to mention on here in the news. Biden extends pandemic help for homeowners. Renters wait. So the President Trump had put in, as part of his COVID relief package, he had put in that a ban on housing foreclosures that were set to expire at the end of March. President Biden extended that to June 30th. It is estimated that about 12% of homeowners with mortgages are behind on their payments. So that is very helpful. Let's go back to the weather before we move on to the rest of the paper here. Weather-wise, today and tomorrow, not going to be very nice, mid-60s and windy. But as soon as we get through Thursday, our weekend is looking great. Next week, we're talking about getting up into the 80s, so it'll be nice. But today, it's going to be mid-60s and a little breezy. Tomorrow, the same thing. And then from there, we'll be back into the clear. So, all right, a lot of stuff going on in Laughlin. Here's the Laughlin Times. You see the top story there. Newly seated LTAB gets to work. The Laughlin Town Advisory Board finally were able to seat their new board members. They also elected their president and vice president. So the new president, or chair, I guess they use as chair, is Kathy Ox, and Kathy Haas was named vice chair. And then they moved into the business. And really, they got a lot of things accomplished, but the thing on here that I was most interested in is there is a piece of legislature, State Bill 79, a recently introduced piece of legislation set forth by Nevada Senator Joe Hardy. Joe Hardy has been trying over the years to get Laughlin incorporated. Laughlin is not interested in being incorporated as a city. He pushes for it. It always fails. And the Town Advisory Board was surprised to find out that it has been put up again. He had several people, board members, that expressed their vociferous disapproval against it. They just like being a town. So I don't know, Mr. Hardy, what the deal is. Just let them be a town. Church breaks ground on Welcome Center. This is, you see we got some members there from TRR. Bryce Pennington is there. You got somebody from the Southern Nevada Baptist Association. A few other people there. Pastor Michael Ryan Stotler. So this is the Laughlin Community Church broke ground on a new Welcome Center addition on Monday. So we look forward to seeing that. They've been around since its birth back in 2004. This is, I think, the second or third addition to the building. That's pretty neat. And then I was surprised to see this. Mac earns Reiner Award. This is an award that was created a couple years ago. It is the Roger Reimer Award for Service and Support of Bennett Elementary and Laughlin High School. I don't know very much about Mr. Mack, Norvelt Mack, but we will be spending some time trying to get to find out what his accomplishments were and why he earned this. According to the press release, it's a very prestigious award for them, so congratulations to him. All right, a lot of good stuff in the Laughlin Times. I just see these Arbys.
Uh-oh.
I love Arbys. They're mozzarella sticks or 5-piece jalapeno bites for $2. I might have to go off of the diet for that. We'll see. All right, the Laughlin Entertainer. Every week, every Wednesday, the Entertainer comes out, and it's mostly geared towards a lot of the casinos and the different things that casinos have going on. But they also have, usually on the cover, we have day trips, places to go and things to do while you're there. This time we have Kanab. And we also have a road trip to Page, Arizona, and all the things near Page. So you open it up, and it says "Living on the Edge." So "Living on the Edge" is the Page trip, and they just talk a pretty nice story here about all the different things to do near a page. That picture that I showed you is the Glen Canyon Dam, and behind it is Lake Powell. Very scenic area there, lots of things to do. You also have Horseshoe Bend right there, and then you're not too far from the Grand Canyon and the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. On this side of the dam, on that picture, is the Colorado River continuing to flow, so a lot of scenic things to see up there. And then the other main story is slot seekers, and not the kind of slots that we normally talk about in this area. This is the narrow passages and winding waves of Peekaboo Slot Canyon in Kanab, Utah. So another very scenic area, a good getaway for a day, or go out there and do some hiking, go back and crash in your hotel room, and get up in the morning and come back.
They had a place in La Jolla that was called Fat Man's Misery, and you used to have to squeeze through these canyons to get through to the other side.
Yeah.
Not many people could make it.
You know, I'm not sure I could make it. Look, there's a picture. I don't know how you can see that bottom picture there. It's a little tiny skinny. I'm sure I'd have to probably get down on the bottom and crawl under that, I think. Peekaboo Slot Canyon. So check it out. Also in the paper, in the Entertainer, are casino promotions, poker tournaments, and those kinds of things. Jackpots. Yeah, the movie guides in there. We have our betting guy here telling you how to bet. So we'll see. Interesting stuff. Well, that's it for today. Don't forget, today at 4 o'clock, we're going to be doing our Q&A, our live Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments on here. We'll review those later. Or just tune in at 4 o'clock. You can see it on our Facebook page. We'll be live on YouTube too, Jeff?
Of course.
So you can go onto our YouTube, put your comments on there, go onto our Facebook page, and we'll address them then. All right.
Let me remind John that he has a laptop to his left. He can see comments now.
Oh, I don't know.
He can see comments. So you guys, if you have any comments for John, feel free to put them in the chat. He's now watching comments.
I see Lance Hargrove says good morning. Good morning, Lance. I can't scroll up there and see what else we got going on. My wife always chimes in on here. Kathy Flores, is there a link to inquire or keep checking when or if they will offer the vaccine again at the Aquarius Casino? You know, we haven't heard anything about any more events over in Laughlin. I will check with Kane. Kane Wickham is our Laughlin guy. He's the one that puts the Laughlin Times together. I'll check with him today and see if we can get if he has any information on it coming up from Clark County, if we get anything from them. What else we got on here?
I think that was pretty much it.
Mostly good mornings.
Just good mornings. A lot of good mornings.
Oh,
Everyone's awake.
If you would like to volunteer at the homeless shelter, please email Lori Price at lprice
at
cc-az.org.
Yes.
Thank you, Grace. And there's Brenda McNutt. Good morning. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Jeff, thank you.
Thank you.
And remember that the Daily Dose is brought to you by the TriState Radiology Center. The TriState Radiology Center offers same or next day appointments, and they accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal. They have a wide open MRI and offer digital x-rays with your reports ready in 24 hours. Call them today for an appointment at 928-460-7226. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we hope to see, what do we decide on Thursday tomorrow?
Thursday.
We're going to have to find a bar to sponsor our Thursday. Thank you, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.